Well, why don't we continue with that? Let's get into some clarification. What questions do you have? What obstacles are you facing?
On the, I think on the last assessment, one thing that I struggled with was like the length of vowels and consonants. Like, I feel like it'd be good to find like personally myself, like finding like being able to like write a note out, just talking about like comparing them all and how like long they are when you speak them.
Yeah.
They're kind of found like sporadically throughout the text, definitely too.
Yeah. So there's one thing that happens with the vowels. Some vowels in English are considered just long. And so you'll see, sorry, I bought a new whiteboard for us for tonight, and it's not, it's a blue board, but hopefully it'll work. So certain vowels are just considered long, longer than others. So like E is a long vowel typically. And you'll see that for the lengthening diacritic, I'm just using a colon here because making the two triangles that face each other is just too hard. So that a colon is fine, okay? E, oo is another one. Ah sometimes is listed as a long vowel. For British English, they have ones that are always defined as long, and it's because of they often precede an R that got lost. So they'll use it if you, so you guys probably already know this. When you look for resources for phonetics, sometimes you'll be reading and think, this doesn't make sense to me. And then you realize, oh, this is because they're talking about British English. So like the word hard for us, we would maybe transcribe like this, hard. But for them, when you lose the R, you get hard. And it's called compensatory lengthening, and the ah gets really long because we lost a consonant. So when you lose the consonant, the vowel gets really long. So sometimes linguists just like to describe vowels as having a long quality just by themselves. I don't worry about that too much, right? Because okay, but you're not going to clinically be like, oh, his E could have been a little longer. I mean, that doesn't usually come up. Where you will use it is noticing things like the geminates, where across a word boundary, like hit Tom. Where instead of saying hit Tom with two allophones, we sort of just hold the position. And what we do is you can't hold a stop. You can't make a stop happen for a long time, but you can hold the silent portion of it. You can go hit Tom. And so you end up holding the silence. And so you can show that with the diacritic there. The pattern that I saw in the clinical application assignment was people, and this is important, noticing that a feature persisted. So like I think one of them was wish Susie. And what happened is people noticed that I can hold the frication and sort of blend one into the other. So I can go wish Susie. And you can see that the frication, the noise never stopped. There was no break between them. But you do notice that the quality changes. Wish Susie. Some people on it took one of the two and lengthened it. But what does that say?
Wish Susie.
Wish Susie. Well, that would be weird, right? So they didn't merge into one sound. There's still two distinct sounds. They just were continuous. I just sort of moved from one into the other. Likewise, I can't just make it an S, because what does that become?
With Susie.
With Susie. So the nice part of this is it just stays the same. There's nothing special about it. Wish Susie. And we just go from one to the other. I'm not going to be super picky about denoting differences in vowel length that are just natural differences in vowel length, but you can do it when something weird happens, like this one. If any of you have children, you're going to be familiar with this one. What does this say?
Mom.
Mom. Mom. And then we know that you can actually add 2 lengthening diacritics if you want. And that gives you more what Raquel said. What was that, Raquel?
Mom.
Yeah, it's like really long. It's like, Mom. And you can show with 2 lengthening diacritics that was an excessively long vowel, which we do all the time in real life. Like, come on. We add duration for emphasis and when we're annoyed, things like that. Does that help?
Thank you, that does help.